When it comes to a psychological horror game, the game may not always have a ghost or a monster or a jump scare.
What is this?
But a game that focuses on mental states to make you feel frightened or uneasy or creeped out by your surroundings. However, the game that will be covered in this video is not only creepy, but it also comes from a true story. My Eyes Deceive is the game released on itch.io by Nuhidev on May 25th of 2023, but it barely received any attention when it first came out. Later, a group that creates games on Roblox called Cheeseplox asked Nuhidev for his permission to recreate the game on Roblox. The recreation has then gained massive popularity, a lot more than the original version. Due to frustration, the original creator has kindly requested Cheeseplox to take down the Roblox version, in which Nuhidev stated, "I understand that this might appear selfish to some, but it's the decision I've come to, and I believe it's for the best. Once again, I'd like to express my gratitude to Cheeseplox for their cooperation in this matter, and I wish them the best of luck with their future projects." In My Eyes Deceive, you play as a young girl who lives in a basement all her life, as the world is infected with a deadly disease. However, you are protected by your papa as he will keep bringing foods to you. Day 1. The game tells you to take your pills, drink some water, prepare some food, wash yourself, and wait for your father. While you wait for your father, you can play a game or walk around or watering your plants. Once your papa arrives, you go and talk to him. You ask your papa if he can come down today, to which he said no because he said that you could get infected. Your papa asked you if you have taken your pills today, to which you said yes, and that they make you feel sleepy. He then told you a story that he saw a very scary creature, but he managed to escape. You then thank your papa for protecting you. Before your papa head to sleep, he gave you something, a diary. After your papa go to sleep, you then proceed to write a diary. Today papa gave me this diary. I'm so happy. He also told me a story from the outside. Seems like a very scary place. You'll hear from me tomorrow. After you finish writing the diary, you go to sleep. But then you wake up in the middle of the night. You keep walking and then suddenly things started to get weird. Everything around you disappears except for the stair. So you walk up the stair and try to open the door. Day 2. Much like day 1, you wake up to take some pills, drink some water, prepare some food, wash yourself, and wait for your father. As you can tell, the cycle is going to repeat throughout the game. Once your papa arrives, you go to talk to him. Today you told your papa that you had a weird dream, but you tell him that you are fine. You told papa that you still take pills. He then says that it prevents you from getting infected. He told you that he brought some food and other supplies. He mentioned that he ran into a monster and that they can imitate human voices. And then tell her that if she hears someone else besides papa, do not make a sound. She then asks, what if they make your voice? So your dad think of a password, which is apple. But you don't know what an apple is, so he said it's a delicious type of food and that he will bring it to you. You then go to write your diary for the day, but before you get to write, there's an option to choose how you think the world outside will look like, which reads, the world outside is a mess. What does he mean? There are 2 pictures for you to choose, which will affect the next dream you are about to have. In day 2 diary, you wrote, today papa has told me something called apple. He said it is very rare, because the world outside is a mess. I'm scared of the outside. There are many monsters. Once you go to sleep, you have a dream based on the picture you picked. As you walk around, you see that the world is out of place, and there's nothing. So you keep walking until you find something laying on the ground. You approach it, and said, is that an apple? Day 3. You take pills, drink some water, but then you find that there's no food. So you go to shake the cupboard, and find that there's some old food left in there. So you prepare some food. Then you go to wash yourself, you wait for papa, you wait and wait. You started to wonder, where's papa? You walk upstairs and ask for papa, but there was no answer. Your papa didn't come today. You then sadly walk to your diary and ask yourself, where's papa? And write, Today Papa didn't come home. I was all alone and scared. I hope he comes back tomorrow. I hate when I'm alone. After you go to sleep tonight, you have another dream. In this one, you navigate yourself through the maze and then you see a few stairs in which you can't go up any of them. You keep walking until you see a giant drop down. You let yourself fall in and then you wake up to day 6. On this day you still find no food, which indicates that it's been 3 days since Papa has not come home, and that you still have to keep eating old food that is kept in the cupboard. After some time in the day, you become very worried about Papa. You walk up the hatch and ask for Papa, but there's no answer. So today you go to your diary and you are greeted with 2 choices, either to keep taking your pills or not, since he's not coming home. Now this is the option that will determine whether you're gonna get a good or bad ending. And since I want to focus on the good ending first, the option that you would want to go for this is to not take pills. She then writes in the diary, "He's still not coming. It's been 4 days now. The pills make me tired. If he's not coming, do I even have to take them? No, I won't take them anymore." After you go to sleep, you have another dream where you are walking in a maze and you find what appears to be a chain holding to the ground, in which there are 3 of them that you have to unlatch as you travel through the maze. As you unlatch each chain, the text will appear on the screen. Are you sure about this? You should trust Papa. Is it worth it? After you unlatched all the chains, you wake up to day 7. On this day, your Papa finally comes home and asks her how she have been and if she still takes her pills. She then said that she's been alright and that she had to eat leftover foods. Your Papa asked again about the pills, which she lied and said yes. Papa then said that he is glad to hear. As an apology for living so long, he brought an apple. You ate it and then you go to bed, pretending to fall asleep. Once you close your eyes, you hear a door open. And then a footstep coming towards you. You hear your dad asking if you're awake, but you didn't respond. Then he said, "Alright. Let's get to it then." But then someone rings the doorbell. Shit. They shouldn't be here yet. And your dad walks away. You get up and notices that the door is left open. You decide to get out of the basement. You find something laying on the table. It's a receipt from a pharmacy showing a purchase of 5 quantities of sedatives. Though she does not know what a sedative is. You then find a police report stating spontaneous house inspection taken to the police station due to suspicious purchases. Conclusion: no substantial evidence found. Case will be closed. After reading this, you navigate through the place. You walk up the stairs until you eventually find the main entrance of the house. You walk outside, look up to the sun, and then says, "What is that glowing ball up there?" And why does it hurt my eyes? This ending, the developer claims that it is actually inspired by a post on Reddit on r/2sentence-horror that reads, "All my life, my parents have told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobey them. What is that glowing ball in the sky, and why does it hurt my eyes? Now that you have a glimpse of the good ending, you can probably tell how the bad ending is going to be. So in another ending, on day 6, if you choose to keep taking pills, you have a dream where your room is now red. You walk from your bedroom to the basement door, and you discover that it's open. But once you go up, you realize that it's a loop that leads you to your bedroom again. As you go up each level, there's more and more shit appearing in the place you live. And once you reach the top, you find your pills placing on the table, to which she says, "I trust Papa." On day 7, you notice that there's food, implying that your Papa is back. When talking to Papa, she asks for the password, as she is worried that it might not be Papa, but a monster that can imitate human voice. Papa then said, "Apple." She then said, "It's actually you," and asked where he has been. He then said, "Something urgent came up. I had to leave for a couple of days." Your Papa then asked if she's been taking her pills, to which she said she has been taking them every day and expressing her trust to Papa. Then your Papa tell you that he brought you an apple as an apology for leaving. After eating an apple, you go to the diary and write, "Today Papa came back. I'm very happy and he also gave me an apple. I didn't think it would be so tasty. I hope he can bring me some more soon." After you head to sleep tonight, you wake up to day 147, where you do your daily routines as usual. However, you seem to walk slower. Once your Papa arrives, you go up to him. Then you utter these words, "Why is my belly so round and big?" She is pregnant. This brings us to the true story of the Fritzl case, which began in 1984 in the city of Amstetten of Austria, with a girl named Elisabeth Fritzl and her father Joseph Fritzl, who kept her hostage in the cellar for over 24 years. And also she was 18 when this happened. It started off as she followed her father down into the cellar to help him fix the door entrance. Once she was about to leave, her father uses a cloth soaked in ether, which is known to be an anesthetic substance, to cover her mouth and nose, causing her to pass out, which is the moment that her nightmare began. We should also note that the cellar's construction has started as far back in the late 1970s, indicating that her father had been planning this for years. The layout of the cellar is also similar to the game. After Elizabeth disappeared without a trace, his wife Rosemary filed a missing person case. Then about a month later, Joseph gave the letter that appeared to be written by Elizabeth to the police. It stated that she was tired of living with her family and moved out to stay with a friend, and she told her parents not to look for her or she would leave Austria. Joseph told the police that she might have joined a cult. This somehow put her case to rest. This letter was made up by Joseph where he forced Elizabeth to write while in the basement. During her captive, her father would regularly put her on bed against her will and have a, activity with her. He would also frequently beat her and force her to reenact scenes from sexually graphic movies. This abuse results in her having lasting physical injuries and a psychological trauma. She spent the first 5 years alone in the basement until she started giving birth to children, where throughout her time in the basement, she gave birth of up to 7 children, in which one of them died after birth. 3 of them were to stay underground and had to witness the abuse of Joseph to Elizabeth, and the other 3 got to stay in the house living with Joseph and his wife. However, there were no suspicion from his wife or the authorities, as Joseph explained to them about the 3 kids that they somehow appear on the doorstep of their home, presumed to be abandoned. While living in the basement, Elizabeth taught her 3 children to read and write. They are provided with a television, a radio, and a video cassette player. There is a fridge for keeping foods and hot plates for her to cook. Sometimes Joseph would punish them by switching off powers, leaving them in darkness, and not giving them any food for days. He would also threaten Elizabeth and her 3 children with fake threats such as saying that he would gas them if they tried to escape. And that would be until April of 2008, when they were discovered. It happened when one of Elizabeth's daughter, Kirsten, who is 19 years old at the time and trapped underground with her, got ill. which caused Joseph to open the cellar to bring Kirsten out while managing to keep Elizabeth inside. Kirsten would later be brought to the hospital, and it was found out that she has a serious condition of kidney failure. When Fitzel gave the letter, which claimed to be written by Kirsten's mother, to the doctor, they became suspicious of him and later notified the police. This leads to the police to announce the mother of Kirsten to come forward. Once Elizabeth saw this on TV in the cellar, she begged her father to let her out to see her daughter. It was at this moment that Joseph decided to release her and the two sons out of the cellar. He would then bring Elizabeth to the hospital. After they arrived, they were then taken to the police station for questioning. But before Elizabeth had given any information to the police, she told the police to promise to never let her see Joseph again. Once that out of the way, she told the police about everything that has happened, which leads to the arrest of her father. 1 year later, on 19 March 2009, the trial was held on Joseph, in which he pleaded guilty to all charges, including incest, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and slavery, with evidence provided by a videotape of Elizabeth when she gave testimony to the police and psychologists. Joseph was sentenced to life in prison, in which he accepted without appealing. He is currently serving his time in Garston Abbey, a place used to be a monastery turned into prison. Elizabeth, her mother, and her 6 children were later taken into care in a therapy facility to be treated with the trauma that has happened. Together, they wrote a message thanking the locals for supporting them. We, the whole family, would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for sympathy at our fate. Your compassion is helping us greatly to overcome these difficult times, and it shows us that there also are good and honest people who really care for us. We hope that soon there will be a time where we can find our way back into a normal life. As of now, they all have been living in private, away from the prying eyes. It's hard to imagine someone who is being trapped underground for a long time and what they have to go through. In My Eyes Deceive, we get to see the character experience this torment for 147 days, being unaware that she is being held captive, which is already dark and depressing in itself. But unlike the true story, Elizabeth is a grown-up and fully aware of the situation and had to suffer for over 2 decades. But it's good to know that she was able to went through it all and got the justice that she deserves.